I get the comment all the time of, I'm thinking about starting my own Booktube channel. So I hope that in this video here, I can hopefully inspire some of you to make the jump and get started. So you say you want to start a Booktube channel. Well, just go do it. Well, I guess I can be a little more helpful, but that really is the most important thing. Just start. Do you have a phone with a camera? Do you have a webcam? That's it. Get started. Now, you can wait until you're 100% ready, but just know that 100% ready probably will never come. I found out, and this has been echoed by many creators, that the best type of learning is hands-on learning. You'll discover what works for you. Now, there are thousands of great videos from huge channels out there that talk about starting your own YouTube channel. And most of those are great. Personally, I think Think Media does some of the best work, and you should watch their videos and learn from that. They're great. However, I would say Booktube seems to be a much different corner of the internet. Now, I don't have a huge channel. In fact, in the grand scheme of things, my channel is very young and quite small.
Size doesn't matter.
But I have been fortunate enough to have daily consistent growth from the beginning with no real lulls or plateaus, and a view count to subscriber ratio that is way higher than the YouTube standard. And I think a very big reason for that is be consistent. Nobody actually understands YouTube's promotional algorithm, and people who say they do are probably lying. But one thing we do know for sure is that if you upload with consistency, then the algorithm is more likely to promote your videos to potential viewers. It really is as simple as that. So be it twice a day, once a week, every other week, it doesn't matter so long as you try to remain consistent, post around the same time. The algorithm will eventually recognize that this is a channel that can be relied upon to produce, and you'll grow. Network.
You know, you really shouldn't read the comments.
I couldn't tell you how many people told that to me when I was first starting out, and that is bogus advice. Read them and respond to all of them. Engagement informs the algorithm that this here is an involved creator and a healthy channel, and it will in turn suggest your video to others. Plus, people took the time not only to watch your video, but to comment on it. And the least you can do is respond, even if it's just a little heart. I would say do this until it becomes unfeasible, but even then there are still other ways to engage.
You know, the content creative industry is a competitive industry.
I mean, I can't really argue that. It's technically true, but it doesn't seem to be the case with Booktube. People who read books on the regular are already in a niche, and if you specialize in a particular genre like I do, then now you're looking at the niche of a niche. As a result, the majority of the people watching your videos will probably be like-minded folks who are reading in the same genre, maybe even the same book. So when you start, reach out. Tag some of your favorite content creators immediately so they can find you. Put yourself out there and network. When I first started out, almost immediately other booktubers found me.
Jake from Pulp Mortem. And if you haven't checked this guy out, he's doing some really awesome stuff with, you know, more on the pulpy, absurd side of the spectrum.
They encouraged me, they reached out, they gave me shoutouts on their channels. This is an incredibly inclusive community, and I've made some wonderful friendships here all around the world. Get tech! You really can just start with a webcam or your phone camera, and you should. If that's what you have, you should start with that. However, if you do want to spend some money and increase the quality of your videos, the most important initial upgrade would be audio. Viewers can forgive lower quality visuals if the sound quality is acceptable. Low quality sound will eventually start to grate on your viewers, and it may affect your reach negatively. Fortunately, there are tons of great microphones out there that are relatively cheap. Personally, I use the Samsung Q2U. It was only like $70 on Amazon, I think, and I got it because it has an XLR and a USB hookup here, so I wanted that versatility. Just make sure you get the right type of microphone for your setup. I have a dynamic microphone here because often I'm filming while there is other things happening, usually smaller, louder humans in the house with me. And I got this because a dynamic microphone won't pick up ambient noise. It won't pick up anything that's not close to it. For instance, my neighbor's mowing his lawn right now, and you can't tell. And here, watch this. I won't change the volume at all. Check, 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 check. Now, if you get a condenser microphone, I think they do tend to have a cleaner sound. You won't have to be right up close to it like I am here, and it'll have a more consistent recording level, whereas this one really is dynamic. Unfortunately, you also pick up more ambient noise, so a ceiling fan, the AC unit, the neighbor mowing his lawn, traffic, other people in the house talking. Also, I don't use a lapel or a lav mic because they are, susceptible to bumping and rustling and have that type sound, which I hate. They work great for some people. I'm very active when I'm filming, so I know I just bump it all the time. Would I recommend this mic? Maybe. It depends. It's not the best. I have a deeper voice, and sometimes this struggles to pick up the lower frequencies, especially when I'm being loud or very quiet. But I've filmed with 12 little kids having a birthday party one room away, and nobody knew it. But if you decide to go with a condenser, just make sure that your room has plenty of soundproofing or acoustic paneling, things like that. If not, you will sound hollow and the microphone might catch echoes and create feedback. But regardless of whatever audio avenue you travel down, make sure that your upload volume is not too loud or too quiet. If people have to turn you down every time they click on a video, you've created a source of a cringe. If people have to crank you up really, really high, and then the very next video they watch, it blows their speakers, there's that cringe again. You don't want people to eventually hesitate to click on your video saying, is this going to be worth it? Set it up! You can increase the quality of your videos with proper lighting and a backdrop. Good lighting will instantly elevate your look, and it doesn't have to break the bank. In fact, it could even be free. Now, I've purchased this double LED light pack on Amazon. I think it was like $29 or $25, something like that. And I used them for quite a while, but the glare was too harsh on my glasses, and I didn't want to just be blasting you guys in the face. I still use these when I go to film other locations, but for my normal videos, all I do is take my powerful LED hobby lamp here and point it at the wall. This technique diffuses the light and essentially turns my entire back wall here into a soft light. If there's a window in your house that's receiving direct sunlight, boom, clip a white sheet over it. Instantly, you have the best soft light money can buy. So spend some time monkeying around with different lighting, different techniques, maybe different filming locations in your house. Also, it's nice to have an interesting background. A lot of booktubers will put trinkets, different lights, those things. They're not essential. If you're on Booktube, let's be real, we just want to see your books. Plus, bookshelves work better than any acoustic paneling you could buy. Look pretty. Many modern phones actually have really good cameras for recording. Mine doesn't. I break phones. Sorry, bud. I hit my dog. Mine, I don't. I don't have a good phone. I always get the cheapest phone I have, something that sucks. So for filming, I use a Canon R50. I've always been a fan of Canon, and this little guy is a powerhouse. It can record in 4K, although let's be real, I don't do it because nobody wants to see this in 4K. And just the kit lens is perfect for filming in my tiny office and whatever B-roll I need elsewhere. Also, the still images are incredible for doing book covers and stuff. The camera and lens were around $700, and that is by far the most expensive thing I purchased starting out. But again, just let me reiterate, if you have a good phone or a good webcam, start there. And just so everybody knows, I'm not sponsored by anything that I'm talking about today. I'm not benefiting from any affiliate links. There's nothing in the description, okay? I'm just sharing my setup. One thing, though, if you decide to go the webcam route, do us all a favor and tilt it up or place it on something, because let's be real, not everyone wants to feel like they're sitting on your lap. Some people do, but not everybody. I mean, some people probably do. Okay, you all do. Hey, edit yourself. Actually, you don't have to edit anything. If you can film something in one take and upload it, go for it. I can't. I screw up so much. I have to film something a dozen times not before I'm happy with it, before I don't screw it up. These are all the first takes that actually got through it. Plus, I like to add music, sound effects. I like to play. I like to be creative in the editing process. So how I do that is I record directly onto my computer. I don't actually record onto my camera. I go directly onto my computer using OBS, and then I do all my editing on DaVinci Resolve. Both programs are free to download, and they work on any operating system. DaVinci has a paid version, but I'm able to do pretty much anything I want to with the free version. It's robust, it's intuitive, and it's very customizable. Both programs have a learning curve to them, but there are plenty of free tutorials out there online, on YouTube actually. And put in a little bit of work, you'll be editing quickly in no time. Embrace imperfection. You're going to have videos that you just can't watch, especially when you first start out. I still make videos that I can't watch. But you're going to say and do things that make you cringe. You're going to mispronounce words. You're going to say too many times. You're going to get facts wrong. You might even make a joke that doesn't land. I mean, I've never done that, but I've heard people doing that.
Right.
So let's say you upload a video and it ends up being total crap. Okay, just move on to the next one. Don't delete it, leave it. There's a great deal of grace for creators when they first start out, and no one expects perfection. Most of us here on Booktube are not professionals. That's why we like it. Don't fixate. I said stop. It's very tempting to watch your subscriber count, the watch hours, reaching your next goal towards monetization, and watching those numbers tick upwards or downwards. But that is time and effort and energy not spent on creating content. It's a distraction at best, discouragement at worst. Now, don't worry about external metrics, and don't worry about what YouTube says you should be going for, because they will have, they'll put goals for you. Hey, you're this close to this goal. Keep it up. You're going closer to this goal. Focus on your goals. Maybe your goal is finish reviewing this book series, and then you can evaluate your metrics and make adjustments. Maybe you want to complete 20 videos and then consider if drastic changes are needed. You'll find that some videos you pour your heart into that they just don't seem to do well, but then a little quickie throwaway video blows up and there doesn't seem to be any reason for it. There probably isn't any reason for it. But just like investments, there's ups and there's downs, but the market wins out over time, every time. If you embrace the grind, you can have fun while grinding, and success will come. Don't worship the algorithm. No one truly understands the word fickle until they become a content creator.
I need to upload 1 to 3 videos a day, and eventually it'll pop and something will go viral.
Maybe. Maybe you're right. But it's like playing the lottery. Technically, your chances increase the more tickets you buy, but do they really? Let's be honest here. Most of us will not get rich off of Booktube. The reason why is it's niche, and this is bad, but it's also good. It's bad because the market is so much smaller than, say, politics, finance, health, tech, film or music, or video game reviews. But it's also good because it's not oversaturated like those markets are. And so as a result, there's just a handful of people getting rich off Booktube. A handful of people turning this into a career, but maybe it's easier that by choosing Booktube, it's easier to have a successful side hustle. Even if it's just paying a bill or two, or filling the tank, getting some groceries, or just fueling your book buying habit. So going viral in a Booktube sense is not 20 million views and you go buy a Lambo. I mean, it could be, but probably not. But the benefit is, yes, it's small. It's a small niche, but it's a worldwide niche. And for instance, my channel is reviewing vintage science fiction books looking for unknown and underrated authors. So, reviews of 70-year-old books by authors that no one has ever heard of or is searching for is the nichiest of niches. However, YouTube is worldwide with over 2.5 billion active users. So if you're like me and your channel is the nichiest of niches, there's still an audience out there. You just have to give them time to find you, and eventually they will find you. Just don't let the algorithm run your life, because it will make you hate this and it'll make you quit before you're found. Hey, you phonies! Authenticity only. If you don't love books, don't start a Booktube channel. Whoa, blowing your mind here.
So welcome back.
Listen, you can have a professional look and setup, but if you aren't authentic, we can tell. Everybody can tell, you phony. So just be yourself. After all, it's called YouTube. YouTube, not them tube. But here's the deal. That's actually easier said than done when you're by yourself talking to a camera. Being comfortable in front of a camera takes practice. How crazy is that? You actually have to work at being yourself, but it's true. And it's like anything else. It's a skill that you can grow with over time. So if you struggle with seeing yourself on the screen here, keep making videos. Keep at it. And eventually you'll start to recognize the person looking back at you. Integrity only. 2. Who's naming these points? There can be a self-imposed expectation of authority when you make a video about something, and let's just be real about it. You don't have to be an expert on something to discuss it, and an appeal to authority is a logical fallacy. Listen, even experts, even real experts, are not experts at everything. So you might not be an expert at everything you want to talk about. You might be like me and not an expert at anything, and that's okay. I received a lot of very positive feedback when I first started reading vintage and reviewing vintage science fiction books because I wasn't an authority. In fact, everybody watching and commenting knew way more than I did. In fact, go look at the comments of my videos. They still know more than I do. But I had this kind of childlike wonder and discovery, and I didn't try and present myself as an expert. In fact, even in creating this video, I hope it's not coming across like I'm presenting myself as an expert, just doling out pearls of wisdom from on high. So this one time I watched a video from a expert booktuber. Huge channel, phenomenal setup, had lights and everything. It was great. He was reviewing a book, and he was tearing this book apart. He was treating this author with disdain, just eviscerating it. And all this with a very authoritative tone, ripping it to shreds. And I was locked in. Then at the end of this 15-minute video, he gave his scathing review, he gave his recommendation, and then he confessed that he was a quarter of the way through the book when he DNF'd it. I've never unsubscribed faster in my life. The reason being is this is a booktuber who lacked integrity and did not value my time, does not value your time. And that person is... I'll tell you later. Now, I'm not saying never DNF a book. If it's a crap book, DNF it. I'm not even saying don't talk about those books that you don't finish. Do that too. But maybe lead with that, and maybe don't turn your gargantuan horde of viewers against an author who, let's be real, might not deserve it. The author might deserve it, but you don't know that because you didn't read his book.
This is a book review of Lord of the Rings. Boring. Takes place in a small, boring village where nothing happens. There's an old man who's high all the time, obsessed with jewelry. No action. Could have used battles. There were none. This isn't fancy. Where's all the dragons? 2 out of 10.
Yeah, but you just read the beginning, you jagweed. Hey, look at me. Hey. Don't compare. Don't compare. There will always be somebody better than you, doing more than you, with better setup than you, having more opportunities, and enjoying more success than you. At least that's what's presented. In fact, there are some booktubers who read and review 500 books a year. Wow, it's really incredible. These people are more commonly referred to as liars. But hold on, maybe they do. Let's say they do, okay? Who cares? Comparison can either be a tool or a curse. It can either be challenging and inspiring or discouraging and disheartening. Saying, I want to do things like that is a lot different than saying, I can never do things like that. You're not in somebody else's skin. You can't be in somebody else's skin, so why waste time and energy with jealousy and envy when we all know that what we see on the screen may not be real life? Create evergreen content. That's a fake plant. The cool thing about Booktube is that books have a timeless appeal. Now, they don't always, because you can find success chasing the new release market, author news, book drama, whatever Brandon Sanderson is doing today. And you can find success in doing those. You could be successful in that. A lot of booktubers are. Good for those guys. But their videos become unwatchable and useless after 2 days. I mean, let's be real. Nobody is watching last week's political or pop culture videos. If that's the route you want to go for it. a lot of people find success that route. For me, I don't get those big, fat view counts right off the bat. But I still get views on every single book review I've ever done. Except this one, which is crazy because this one was hilarious, you guys. Listen, you need to do whatever you want. Do I take advice? Absolutely. But I've received advice and criticism to change literally every aspect of my videos. If I took every single aspect, if I took and implemented every piece of advice I received, I would not have a channel.
Good!
Not all the advice I'm giving you right now is going to work for you. Some of it might be really bad. On the flip side, some of the advice I've received has been incredibly helpful and beneficial. So the question is, how do you know what's beneficial and what's not? Well, an easy method of parsing the good and the bad would be, is this a comment from a first-time commenter that I've never heard of before? Or is this a comment or a criticism from a long-time commenter, somebody who has been watching you subscribed for months or even years? These two criticisms do not weigh the same. Now, the good news is Booktube is relatively troll-free. That's because internet trolls are stupid. They're stupid people. And people who read books are, on average, more intelligent. But seriously, this is why the comment section in Booktube is different than literally every other category of YouTube videos. Check this out. Go look at this, you guys. But that being said, some trolls do sneak in sometimes. Listen to them. Listen to their advice. Weigh what they're saying. If there's some truth to their whinging, then take the kernel of truth, implement it, and toss out the rest. You win. And if there's absolutely nothing to their moaning and it's all just junk, then toss it. You win. Either way, you win. Just don't feed the trolls, then you lose. Unless, like, you're hurting for content, and then you feed away. Get live! Live streams are crazy fun, but they're also beneficial for building community, which, let's be real, that's the main reason why so many booktubers get started. That's one of the reasons I got started. There was nobody in my life that read or liked the books that I liked, and there was nobody I could talk to about it. In fact, that's why we started the elusive exclusive book society, to hang out with other like-minded book lovers and to highlight new channels, give them a boost, and bring them into the fold. Hosting a live event is a whole other skill set, but it's one worth learning. I use StreamYards for all my live streams. It's very user-friendly, and I've yet to have any issues with it. With StreamYards, you could have up to 6 people on screen, and it's for the free version. If you go the paid route, you can get a lot more people, but it's kind of expensive. But here, just a couple pieces of advice. First, if you are going to do a live stream, schedule it in the future. Even if it's just for an hour ahead, schedule it every single time. The reason being is YouTube will promote live streams like crazy. They're a good way not just to engage with your audience, but also to gain a new prospective audience. But YouTube has to have time to do that, has to have time for the algorithm to pick it up and disperse it around. So at least an hour, but the more time from when you set it up, from when it goes live, the more time you have scheduling it out, the more YouTube will be able to promote it. And one of the funnest parts of a live stream is the live chat going on in the sidebar. Now you can enable this and disable this. I'd say enable it for Booktube. And also you'll want to go into your settings for the live stream to enable chat playback, or else it will disappear after the live stream ends. Don't do shorts. Well, this might not be good advice. In fact, it's probably bad advice. I've never done a short. I don't like them because it feels like TikTok, and I have serious old man energy. But this is my video, so it's staying in. Ask for help. I've already stated in this video that I'm not an expert in anything, and even if I didn't state that, I mean, you just look at my channel for a minute and go, yeah, what gave it away? But I would be happy to help with whatever questions that you might have, and if I don't know the answer, I will definitely say, I don't know. All of this is incredibly daunting when you first start out. But here's the thing. It's not as hard as it seems. And so it's not just me. Most of the fine people I've met on Booktube would be more than happy to pass on whatever knowledge they have. And this could have saved me a lot of trouble in the beginning. This one's serious. Have fun. Seriously, have fun. If you're not enjoying yourself, you will get burnt out and you will quit. Now, this doesn't mean don't push yourself, try new things, and work hard. But if doing this starts sucking the joy from your life, maybe you need to ask yourself why. Maybe it's because you're discouraged from constant comparison to others. Maybe it's because you're consuming too much content and there's no time in the day or room in your brain for creativity. Maybe it's because of an arbitrary pressure to keep up with or catch the algorithm. Whatever the case may be, don't post this week.
What? But you said be consistent.
I did say that. But you know what? It's better to take a week off, or 2 weeks, or 5 weeks off and come back refreshed and enjoying what you do. That is infinitely better than begrudgingly churning out content that your heart just isn't into. We all have jobs and responsibilities and things demanding of us, of our time, of our energy, of our passion. Don't turn Booktube into a soul-sucking 9-to-5. Books are fun. And sometimes we forget that. So don't just have fun with this. Make fun the priority. Anyways, I hope this video has given some of you the nudge to make the leap and start your own Booktube channel. Now, I don't usually ask these things, but I'm going to ask, please like this video, only because when you like something, that gives a video some legs. It tells YouTube, hey, keep this one going for a while. It's getting good engagement. Also, please share this with somebody who you think needs to start a channel. So if that's you and you've been thinking about starting a Booktube channel, let us know in the comments. Let us know. That way we can see you. We can follow you. We can follow your progress. We can give you some friendly accountability if you want. If not, just some encouragement. Let us shout you out. And for my friends and fellow booktubers, will you put in the comment, not just some encouragement for these new creators, but any tips and advice, maybe mistakes, things that you've learned along the way? Because I promise this was not a comprehensive list. It is normal to want to share good things. In fact, I would say good things are meant to be shared. That's why I made this video. So, have fun reading. Thanks for watching. I'll see you all next time.